Just a little blues ditty to bring us in, Matt. Every day I sing the blues, B.B. King. That wasn't every day I sing the blues, B.B. King. That was just me vamping a little bit.
Little ditty.
HFR from the floor, Miss Trade, Matt Davio, Bobby Half. Welcome to Market Vitals. We're open.
Yeah, there's the bell.
We're open.
That's a good
We're being
bell.
live streamed and monitored in Beijing. Jeff Beck. Lee says, go see Jeff Beck. How old is Jeff Beck? The guy's got to be in his
78,
70s,
Lee
right?
said. Lee was sending me pictures, and now it was all the rage on all the local New York papers because Johnny Depp was there. Otherwise, nobody would have cared about Jeff Beck. My kid's probably like, who's Jeff Beck?
Jeff, in fact, a lot of kids are saying Jeff Depp played. Johnny's brother.
But Lee also was at the concert, and he said that he needs a singer because it was just a little too jammy for him.
Well, these things happen.
Yeah. All right. So
I'll never forget seeing the Marshall Tucker Band when the lead singer, and by the way, some of those songs, very operatic on the high end. And to see a singer pass their time and still trying to sing the notes that they can't sing anymore is a very painful experience. So, Matt, let's jump right into it. What do you see? You see my Dave Collum tweet?
no, I see your trading platform and all kinds of shit going on.
All right, we don't want that. Hold on. We want this one. Painful. He says it's painful. There we go. From Dave Collum, the curmudgeon himself, at Salesforce.com, CRM has a PE of 289. They swapped into the Dow by taking out Exxon. And his comment is no bubble here. We have a few other thoughts about it, not just bubble-esque. We talked about Exxon before when what was it? Zoom? We did the Zoom Exxon. Was it not 2 years ago when Zoom was 18x Exxon? And we're like, that is insane.
Yeah.
You're du jour, Matt. You're du jour on Exxon or CRM. Bring up a chart. I'll leave here because it
we just happened to look at Exxon, and so it's timely that we could talk about this. But I will just say this: I've never seen stocks swapped out of an exchange, especially the smallest index, which is the Dow 30 stocks. It's basically the 30 safest stocks, right, in the world. I've never seen one swapped that wasn't failing. And this, to me, I've also never seen one that wasn't failing. And they're two separate things. And I've never seen one that was put in for political reasons.
And that's your. Dave was saying it's a bubble, but you're saying this is a payback on some level. It's some sort of. I mean, what are the market caps? Let's go through this. What are the market caps?
Well, yeah, let's go through this right now. Exxon today is trading at near all-time highs. Right, it was just last week 105.96. We're at 99.60. We banged up here before 103. So every time it kind of gets up here, it pauses. I don't see oil going away for our lifetime, if ever. But let me just start there. In our lifetime, Exxon, pays 3.5% dividend, is worth $415 billion today. So it's not bottoming. It's not, there's no reason to take it out of the Dow, because when you compare that to good old Mark Benioff's company, he's been hammered from 311 down to a new low. Maybe he should be taken out of the index because
it doesn't make any sense. And that is fully right-sided. Come on, COVID low. If we're at the
I've never like this. My mind is blown. It's fine if you want to listen. So this actually makes the Dow worth less right away.
Yes, and let's face it. We have said it before. The CEO is a giant World Economic Forum advocate.
And so, his
blowhorn.
products are his products are only going to be sold to those who abide by the ESG ruling party. I mean, is that what this is? I mean, that's what it looks like. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, sounds like a duck, what the fuck? Shoot the fucker. Shoot the grease.
By the way, if you shoot the duck, the Manja Shrimp Mojo, it could go on duck too, and it's fantastic. By the way, duck, Manja style. It just blows me away. And so, what is the market cap for CRM?
144. It's 1/3 of Zoom today, or Zoom of Exxon.
Exactly, a third of Exxon, and they take out Exxon and put in. Doesn't make any sense.
No. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in an Exxon CRM spread here, not spread, but one divided.
You're going to divide it.
Yep.
One by the other.
So it's been much higher, obviously, when CRM was brand new, but now it's pretty much it's neutral. So
it's neutral, and it looks like it's going the other way though. This looks left-sided to me.
Which means Exxon's going higher.
Yes.
CRM's going lower. Again,
yes.
Horrible trade by the politicians, again, trying to trade without understanding the way things work. Somebody put pressure on on the Dow Industrial. I have no other answer for this.
Exactly. We always end up with more questions than answers.
And I don't, again, this is going to be the theme for today. I have questions. Why did this happen?
All right, Matt, why don't you, while we got this questions and answer session going, bring up PayPal, because they've made the news big, as they said. If they don't agree with your social profile, they're just going to take $2,500 from you. They're going to tax you.
And by the way, the irony here, is who started this company?
Elon.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and he's come out hard against this. He's like he said he was very sad to see the direction that they've taken in environmental and social governance. Nobody knew that social governance was anything that you said may be used against you.
I mean, listen, all these platforms are used for, every one of them is used for illicit things. Not always, but many of them are. And they're laundering devices, whatever you want to call. So I get it. But for a payment processor or a bank to now say, hey, you can't go clean houses in underwear. We don't find that to be acceptable behavior.
Well, they went a little farther, though. That they said we're going to
no. But hold on. But listen to me. So we're going to take your money that you earned and put into our bank, and we're just going to take that and put it into our own accounts. That's what PayPal's doing.
Most people would call that robbery.
But that's what PayPal is suggested with this.
In fact, $2,500 sounds like Grand Theft Auto to me.
Totally. So PayPal basically, recovered from the low that it hit 68, in June, and then it rallied all the way up to 102. It had been falling off already. It was at 90. It was at $90 when this news hit Sunday, and it, now it's down another 7-8%. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, and again, you're not only they may retract that, but they've lost that business now forever. And they've messed with people over the years. PayPal has, for whatever reasons. I personally really don't like the platform. Never have. So
right on.
Now they own Venmo too. So it's like, so if they say that, think about that. They say that about PayPal. It's not just PayPal. It's Venmo. It's any of the other, cash transaction apps that they use. So it's scary. It is scary.
Yeah, let me share this here, because
especially if your business is vocal and you're selling cool T-shirts that make fun of shit. I mean, they could take your money, but they've retracted it all because the blowback was so big. But I think they thought they would just get away with it. They'd just slide it out into their rules and nobody would say anything. I really think that's what they thought, because there's no way they didn't run this by lawyers and have this appeased and approved.
Right on. This was shared by Zero Hedge. NATO Stoltenberg says NATO's military strength is the best way to prevent escalation. NATO Stoltenberg also says NATO has started dialogue with industry remember that little thing, the industrial complex and allies on how to boost production and replenish weapons stocks. Seems like NATO wants to drop 100,000 bombs like they did in Libya. We talked about that yesterday. My collateral damage is okay, yours is not. Again, more questions than answers, but you pick out one defense stock, Northrop, or somebody's going to get a big order here. It seems it always comes back to price. I don't know. Look at that little crescendo of industry names.
Hold on.
Loving that tweet, and I imagine the phones are ringing off the hook there as they try to.
Before I do that,
orders.
I'm going to bring in a little song. Can you do that?
Not really. I wish I could. That's in the next Market Vitals production model, where we actually have a production model. You're jamming to yourself. Nobody could hear it. Bring in the stock. I don't know.
I don't think you could hear what I was saying. So.
No.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
I was playing a little Gap band. You dropped the bomb on me before we came in.
Oh, you dropped the bomb on me. Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Well, replenish they have. Maybe they should get rid of Northrop Grumman because it's only worth 79 billion today, and they could at least have one of these. I don't know which one is in the Dow, but I'm sure one of these companies is in the Dow, right?
That looks fairly bullish.
It has looked bullish. As a matter of fact, made a fresh all-time new high. It looks like just again here got right up to ticky tack right at the same level. So Lockheed Martin, the other big name that I always think about with Grumman. 415, not as bullish. Again, that's a short-term 23-minute chart. So these have been struggling. So they're trying to pop them up, I guess, a little bit. I guess Jen is trying to do his job for those that are footing the bill for you drop the bomb on me playbook. So NOC is at the all-time highs, and Lockheed Martin not looking so strong. So maybe they're trying to help them both out here. But very bullish chart. Again, LMT market cap 110 billion. Both these companies are smaller than CRM and are more bullish. So at least you can make it. Why don't they just swap out?
Yeah, well, I mean,
big guns. Why don't they just swap out? Why don't they swap out big guns for big oil? I mean,
exactly.
Seriously, and where are the people that hate gasoline on the war shit? Like this, aren't they the same person? I don't understand. And the people that want you to get the 7th jab, Bob, are the ones that want to fucking drop the bomb on me. What's going on?
That looks bullish, that chart.
They're all bullish.
Yeah. It seems like war is good business.
War. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Matt, let me share this as we move on down the line. So environmental social governance. So the environmental part obviously was that Exxon snubbing, let's call it what it was, a snubbing by removing them from the Dow, as Dave Collins shared. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's just assume that it is for our show's purposes. Holy shite. This is what I want to share now, because there is pushback like the market will do. Eric, man, am I going to crucify this name? Balshanas. Did I do it right? Eric must have got a little bit of rivalry in the schoolyard with that last name. Anyway, he says launching today, God Bless America ETF. Y'all. YALL, y'all. Not to be confused with ye, and that's going to be a whole different ETF out of ye, which screens out companies that have emphasized politically left and or liberal political activism and social agendas. I would take that to say that it has very much aligned with ESG, the WEF, yada, yada, yada. And then filters the companies that have low PE ratios, multi-year job growth, the fee is 65 basis points, and here's the holdings. It's interesting to see somebody else put together a list of things that aren't alt left or far left, whatever you want to say there. So Tesla, Nvidia, Amgen, Costco, Schwab, Danaher, Boeing, Applied Materials, Marsh and McLennan, Mendoza
Repackaged.
Chartered. What's that?
Repackaging.
Repackaging. Dollar General, Sherwin-Williams.
Wait, these are all ESG friendly? I don't get this.
No. They're a pushback.
Oh.
This is the opposite.
Oh, gotcha.
It screens out.
So should we have gun companies and Philip Morris and things like that?
You would think, but these are their holdings.
I mean, Pfizer.
I'm just sharing information here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
it. If you are an investor and you want only ESG companies, they have that for you, right? You have the woke portfolio, which has Salesforce in it, by the way, now a Dow component. Anyway, Matt, you pick any. Let's look at Costco. It's got almost a 5% weighting in the index. We haven't looked at it in a while. Let's go ahead.
I was very bearish on it the last time we did look at it. So just a precursor, and that has worked out very well. Again, I don't see I don't go to Costco anymore, but I don't have 4 kids living at home anymore. So thank you. I've moved on from that stage of my life. But
I gotta tell you, it's almost worth the membership for the $6 roasted chicken now, because they're like $9 or $10 at
it used
Albertsons
to be. Last time I was there, they were like $4. But I hear you.
Yeah, I think they were $4.99. I haven't been in a while, but it used to be a loss leader, Matt, until it was drawing so many people in that they decided to buy their own chicken farm and just started. They vertically integrated the whole process.
It's really smart. Really smart.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised they haven't come up with. Don't they have Kirkland brand sodas that they can, make that even cheaper too at the fountain?
For sure, it's a great business model and has been for a long time.
Listen, this chart is just. I think it's a matter of time. When it breaks 450 again, I mean, why is this thing not going to trade back down to value, which is 300?
I agree. And it can still be a great business.
And maybe that happens after Christmas this year. I don't know.
And does it pay a dividend?
It does pay a dividend. Small, not even 1%. So 210 billion. Again, you want to take out Exxon, but you don't want to put in Costco, or you want to put in Costco. You don't want to put in Costco over CRM. Doesn't make sense.
Man, again, there's a lot of hand washing going on.
Well, it's 2 times as big, not 2, but it's 50% bigger than CRM today. Just saying, CRM's looking lower too. This one's going to do better in a down market. Still, people got to eat, and they got to buy value. So this is a value play, but for how long, I don't know.
All right.
Looks tough.
Lastly, from my side of the aisle.
Hold on, before you go to let's take a break here, because the games have already started, and you're like, what games?
I am such a fair weather baseball fan.
But it's the playoffs. It's the second round.
Playoffs? We're going to talk about playoffs?
Phillies, by the way, every time the Phillies win, it guarantees, assures that we're in a recession. 2008-9 they won, 1998-9 they won, and we were in recession. So just saying, be careful.
Be careful what you wish for when rooting for a baseball team.
If you're rooting for the Phillies, just be careful. The rest of us might not like that so much.
Oh, I love it.
The Phillies are
recession guaranteed with Phillies win. I can see the headline. It's breaking news.
Yep. So anyways, throw that out there. But so I already missed that game. It's the top of the second. Phillies are up 2-0. I probably haven't refreshed this, but still 2-0, top of the second. And Phillies, they somehow got out of the guy on first and second. I don't know what happened there, but the games that's probably the least interesting series to me, because I can't stand either the Phillies or the Braves. So I'm going to be rooting for the Mariners, although I love Verlander. So good luck. I think the big underdogs, the Mariners, Padres, and the Guardians, all got their work cut out. I mean, look who you got to. If you're the Mariners, you got to go against Verlander, who's had like 2 weeks off. Guardians got to go against Garrett Cole. I mean, the guy's a stud. And the Dodgers, well, you got to go against, what's his name? How do you say that guy's name? Urias.
Yeah,
And he's one of like four, right?
Right.
He's one of four great pitchers, or maybe five for the Dodgers. So again, but what I did actually, Bob, and I put a whopping $5 on a 2-team parlay today. You want to guess which 2 teams?
You went Phillies.
No, I didn't. I missed the game completely. So,
all right. So you went Mariners, Padres.
yes, I did.
Fucking unbelievable. I'm psychic.
And the Mariners Padres paid $7.55 plus
gorgeous.
$7.55.
You're paying for tacos if that comes in.
I'm paying for tacos.
Guaranteed.
Almost will cover the two of us at El Sancho because of the Putin inflation.
We got PPI tomorrow, CPI on Wednesday. The market it's been sort of vicious here for people that are not actively managing a position.
2 weeks we've been in a vicious sine wave. 2 weeks.
Yes. Matt, speaking of mushrooms, I wanted to share this. Where the heck is it? This was shared with me from our friend Jeff Carter, and Carter shared this article. This is interesting where we are in the political landscape, specifically in the warring amongst states. And this is an article and an opinion piece from Professor Michael McConnell talking about California's Proposition 12 that is going to outlaw the sale of pork in California, or has, if your pork production doesn't meet their social and environmental standard. So the pork can be perfectly healthy, but they've decided that they don't like how you're raising pigs, and therefore you can't sell your product in California. It's a really interesting article, Matt, because it goes all the way back to the forming of the Constitution and the writers specifically not wanting states to fight like this, like countries fight. And they specifically then said the federal government can regulate this type of thing, not state to state. If you cannot discriminate against a country if their product doesn't harm the person, i.e. you don't agree with how they made it, or you don't agree with their political leanings. It goes right back to this, the Salesforce thing. It goes right back to PayPal.
What happened to the constitutional separation of church and state? Like, what happened?
Well, I mean, it's all this is pointing that all things in the Constitution are being challenged.
Yes,
from a state level.
Yes,
and I highly
states
recommend the article because it just points that out. That's where we are in the cycle here. That the Constitution is being challenged.
And you're posting that into the Market Vitals community today for us.
I am, as we speak. Watch how easy that is. Copy, Market Vitals, home. See, I'm walking you right through it. Paste, post. Let's give it a topic, Matt. Let's expand your knowledge base.
Yeah.
Bingo. And let's notify everybody. See how easy that was? Bong. Join us at marketvitals.io, and you too can share content from questionable people with questionable thoughts and are always questioning the narrative. I mean, I think that's the bottom line of it. And then trying to find some sort of price discovery that we can make a wager on it. That's the backside of the story, Matt, because that's the only thing that matters. Like, your opinion, fine, you have an opinion, that's great, but how much do you want to bet? Like, would you like to bet on that opinion?
Hey, Bob, how do the Chinese own our pork market now? Seriously, like, I don't know the answer to this question.
Well, they own Smithfield, which is one of the biggest producers of pork in the country.
Which used to be a publicly traded U.S. company.
Yes.
Okay. So now I just looked it up.
Smithfield.
That was recently.
The last 5 years, half a decade. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So when I go to the store and I'm buying Smithfield, I'm buying Chinese pork.
No, you're not. You're buying pork made in North Carolina, owned by a Chinese firm.
Why did they sell it?
They sold for the genetic line. I mean, again, people, the normal person is so out of tune with agricultural production, what it takes, what goes into it, and the importance of genetics. So they're buying that genetic line that Smithfield had proprietary ownership of. Not only that, the genetics of the actual pigs, but the production workflow. They're buying the workflow also. Because to produce pigs at scale is
when they did that, when they did that deal, did they have to agree not to export it to China?
Oh, hell no. In fact, yeah, very, very hard working a farm, very hard. And but the crazy thing is, up until ASF, the African swine fever that decimated the pig herd in China itself, half of the pigs produced in China were produced in backyards. I mean, think about that. It's unbelievable the amount of people that were, I mean, we're talking what, 1.4 billion people in China?
Yeah.
And you know, they love, what's their favorite protein is pork. And we talk about a lot of 3 to 10 pig operations going on there. Anyway,
by the way, I
had
the pork shoulder noodle dish at Sen the other night. Oh, dude, it was fantastic. Good. You got to show me how to make a pork shoulder. I've never made one, and I was like, is it on a bone or what's going? He's like, no.
Oh yeah, well you can get it deboned, but you're best to have the shoulder bone in.
Well, so in the dish though, there was no bone, and it was absolutely the best piece of pork I've ever had.
You know, there's a famous Italian restaurateur, first in Fort Lauderdale, Cafe Materano, Steve Materano, fantastic Italian restaurant, and he swears by pork in any form with the bone in being the best thing to make Italian Sunday gravy from. So there you go.
That makes sense because it's sweet. Yeah.
Manja TV kitchen, and if you're in Fort Lauderdale, I think.
So then you're grinding it up though.
You don't have to.
So, but
I make Sunday gravy with baby back ribs.
Yeah, but it's kind of stringy for me. I don't want to be picking. I don't want to pick the Sunday gravy out while I'm watching the Bears lose again.
Fighting words.
Whatever. The Lions lost again too.
All right, Matt. We got.
Speaking of questions, do you have that video? Why don't you bring up that video? Because we talked about it yesterday, and we've had a lot of questions today, and we want to talk a little bit about football, since it's kind of a dead night, Tuesday night. But that Detroit Lions player that early in the game, it was like the second play of the game, first or second play of the game.
Hold on. There we go.
Because there was
Again,
so much
more questions than answers. And this guy, he looks coherent here.
He looks, I mean, he's a cornerback, cover back.
He doesn't really look like he gets his head hit.
It didn't get a hit, no. So I have questions. And the questions are, that's 5 minutes into the game. If he was hit before, are they only looking at quarterbacks and running backs? Do they not look at the rest of the players if they get hit in a play? I mean, in other words, you almost need to have somebody looking at every single position player on the field now, because these I mean, some of these hits, Bob, and every play, like last night, that game, the Raiders and the Chiefs was so violent. Like some of these hits, I was just like, how do these guys get up? And I'm just talking about blocks too, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. But then you go from there to Troy Aikman under fire now for saying take the dresses off. Because it was a pretty patsy protective roughing the passer call, I guess.
Yeah, but then there was a couple other hits where I'm like, geez, that should be roughing the passer. That should be, it's just like, I don't know. It's like, all I'm saying is and I would have no problem if those helmets that they wore like in the practices, the big bobblehead thing, I would have no problem with them wearing that and colliding harder if they actually. I
think they should just use a Manja TV beret. Let's take the helmets completely off and see. They don't wear knee pads anymore.
I've always said we're one death on the field in a Sunday game from this game being pretty close to over. But I've always said
no way. Listen, soccer suffered 180 deaths worldwide. People just collapsing on the pitch.
Stop. That's a different thing.
Well, you can't say jab and somebody fucking died from it. You can't say that. In fact, I watched PBS. I try not to watch the news, man, ever. But I got sucked into like 10 minutes of PBS last night, and they had a doc from Houston Children's Hospital still pushing the jab as hard as possible, and really worried that nobody wants to take it. And so, again, I got more questions. I have questions that why are we still pushing it so hard when many other countries have abandoned it completely?
Yeah, where's the pause button, if nothing?
And where's the investigative journalism asking that point blank to the doc? Hey, you're really pushing this for everybody and children, yet there's lots of countries that are not pushing it at all anymore. So,
well, one state did, and that was Florida, but he did it a year ago too, and he got almost his head blown off. So I guess a year later, it's getting a little safer, but I would think there would be some momentum within a number of states that would, start pushing this, because kind of the theme of big theme of the show today is I think states have to push back to control the power. This has never been a constitution of federal power. It's always been a constitution of state power. And, the federal is only there to like push back, blow back, right? But it shouldn't. It's wag the dog, or the tail wagging the dog.
Tail wagging who? Who's
yeah,
wagging
you know what I mean.
who?
I mean, it's.
I'm at.
But that's it. It's a real. I would ask our listeners and watchers to have that discussion with your friends and family. Because is that something that you even understand how powerful the states should be in our country? And your local government first. I mean, if you're not happy with the local government, get involved. Otherwise, it's going to go whatever way you're probably not happy with.
All right, Matt. It looks to me.
You still have a free voice. You still have a free voice.
We got PPI tomorrow.
PPI tomorrow. Producer Price Index.
Why don't you walk us through, especially the S&Ps, on maybe a week look or a 3-day look on the balance? Because there's no reason why, especially with the amount of shorts in this market, I think this thing can't get squeezed even higher today.
Well, again, 36.25 was kind of my line in the sand this morning. We've taken it out. We took it out early, went down to that test of that 80 level again, and I am going to bring it up. But we've been down here for the last 2 weeks. We've been here before. So now 72 was the low back down here. 72 was back here on 1st of October. So we had the huge rally on the Fed's going to save us those 3 days. And then we fully retraced it. You can see 36.50 is the point, the point of control. But for me today, just the day level was 36.25. Why do I say the day level? It's always interesting to go through this because there's multiple timeframes involved. But you can see it, the day level here. The second, this was this morning. This became heavy later as we put more pricing down here. So before, if we were to go backwards in time, you can kind of see that, we hadn't been there. But then once we banged off of that first thing this morning, pre-market, the 25. So that was the level for me. It held, we ratcheted down, and then since then we've been nothing but ripping higher. So again, I think we went from, again, my thesis coming into the day was test the low and then go back and at least see 36.50. So as far as I'm concerned, the day is done. Because it did both those things. And if I can be that right in a day and I've made my money, then I'm not going to be greedy.
Bingo.
So
so important. It's so important not to.
Well, and especially into these big numbers. And again, I don't have a big feeling how the market is going to react. And if it, if it gaps up to 3,700 and then it's going to go back to 39.50, I don't care about the first 70 points. I'm not that concerned. Because if it can't hold 35.70, it's possible we trade down to 3,300. I mean, it's possible. That's the outside on that.
Right.
So you got to watch that low. And again, if we can close tomorrow after the PPI, say 3,700, and then we got, it pretty much is going to tell you what the CPI is. So, the producer impact, the pricing impact versus the consumer, right? One leads the other. So the big number is really tomorrow, because these are the guys that make the products, and what they're seeing. Hopefully, I mean, I saw Liz, what's her name? Liz Summers from one of the banks. You know, she's a big talking head on CNBC, and I saw a quote that she was saying food prices have actually dropped worldwide over the last 6 months, like every month the last 6 months, but they haven't here in the US. So food is always local, and we haven't caught up to the rest of the world. But you know, I think we've also been subsidized so long, and now that's a big reason why we have the inflation.
Right on. All right, man. We will see you all tomorrow post PPI. Please share, retweet, plagiarize the broadcast. Please join us at marketvitals.io and share. It's a sharing community. Sharing is caring, Matt. Sharing is caring. Matt, last night, I don't have the photo of it. I'm so disappointed because I made Canadian Thanksgiving, right? And I went to the store yesterday needing to get some turkey, and there just wasn't any turkey available that I could find, especially not frozen. Anyway, so I did find a turkey leg, right? And this is not a sexual position, all right? This is a chicken and a turkey leg. And I just doubled them up in the roasting pan. Please don't try this at home.
So is that a turchicken?
Yeah, it's a turchicken.
Not a turducken.
And a turkey and
those
a
actually,
chicken.
I think those would be more appropriate for, John Madden.
One chicken and one turkey at least were harmed in the making of last night's dinner. I want to be transparent with that for sure.
Now, what were those legs you were making?
Oh, are those with the manja whiskey barbecue sauce? You can make the lollipops.
Yeah, but what were they? Were they lamb lollipops? What were they?
No, they were chicken legs.
I thought they were, but I was like, but they look kind of dovish. They look kind of dovish. Did you kill those in the backyard?
No, it was my competition partner that shared that little bake that he did. And I don't know if they were thigh. I think they were just legs. And what you do is you cut the skin around the top of it.
You like trim the top of it.
Pull everything down hard.
Okay.
The other way to do a lollipop is to take the thigh, pull the skin off, pull all the meat down, wrap it, and then rewrap the skin. That's how we compete when we do barbecue competitions. We do the full thigh lollipopping. Anyway, fantastic way to do it.
Thigh lollipops. This sounds like something, that could be.
Ye should write a song.
It could be marketed in a lot of places.
Ye should write a song about thigh lollipops.
He really should.
He really should. He really should. All right, Yee, thank you for the share.
I love how you call him Yee when it's Yay.
No, I call him Yee. All right.
Is that like I can't say Yee, I can't say Yee. Yet you can say Yee.
I just read it. It's Y-E. How is that yay?
It's Yay, Kanye.
It's Y-E. Tell me how Y-E is yay.
Well, how is Z?
Were you a history major and an English minor? Were you not?
I was not an English minor. Absolutely not. It was econ double major, history double major. Econ history.
I mean, all right. In your Judeo-Christian upbringing, was it hear ye, or was it hear
Yes,
yay?
but it's Kanye. I
don't give a shit. I read it. I never put that together.
Right, Bob's in a feisty mood today. Okay. Usually we leave that to me, but
hear ye. Hear yay.
Yay,
yo.
He should write a song about that. Hear yay, hear ye.
Thighs.
Lollipop thighs. We can work on the words and send it to him.
Yeah, exactly. Lollipop them thighs. All right, Matt. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone.
By the way, the dollar today, down again. So that should also, that's pushed up there to 113. What did we get to last night? Because you got to be watching the dollar, you got to be watching the bonds. So let's just touch on those before we cut out here. Dollar got
bonds on fire.
Dollar got up to 113.47, down a huge buck today. So that's definitely cause for rally. or at least again, depending on which one you believe is leading the market, that is good news. And then the bonds also hit a new low this morning, especially on the UB. The ZB was not as bad, but the UB, let me bring that up. It ran all the way down to the new low of 132.10. Nice little double, not quite.
I mean, remarkably, it looks a lot like the equity charts too.
Oh,
These
dude,
things are in unison.
I mean, when I showed you this morning, I'm like 7 a.m., 7 a.m., 7 a.m., 7 a.m. Button got turned on.
Yes.
Know your
the
market.
7
Know your
a.m. buy
market
program.
types. Know your market types. Know your market types. And
All right, Matt. Bingo. Thank you.
all right, Bob. I'll expect my lollipop for lunch.
Here, yay. See ya.